What's up, everybody? My name is Luke Venevery, and welcome to your Money Matters panel. Esther Deutsch and RCS Professional Services have put together an all-star panelist to talk about how you can save your hard-earned money. Now, during this, if you have any questions, drop them into the questions box, and we'll make sure we get to them. But let's get to know the panelists. Jeff, how are you, my friend?
Hey,
Tell us
Luke.
about RCS Professionals and what you got going on.
That was a really exciting intro. I don't know how I'm going to beat that, but RCS Professional Services, I'm the president of the company. It's a company we started in 1999, and we help clients, small businesses specifically, figure around 20 to 250 employees, leverage technology in their business. That goes from everything from computing, cloud computing, anything that helps clients be efficient and help their business boom to the next level. So that's RCS, and we're excited to be here. Thanks, Luke.
Jeff, is it true that RCS Professionals started as a store?
Correct. Yes, it was actually like an extension or a siphoned off from a family business in 1990, and we had like 6 stores at the peak around Manhattan, and in 99, while the business was still operating, I moved on to professional services. Thankfully, that was my start.
And now you've turned it into this great company, and you recently just expanded into Georgia, correct?
Correct. Hey, see, you know more than me. Can you do this? Thanks, man. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of your company, bud.
we opened in Georgia. I'm a big fan of you and your firm, man. We opened in Georgia an office a few years ago, and we've been growing that as well. So thanks for the heads up on that, Luke.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for being here. Let's jump down to Robert Curtis. Robert, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good. How are you today, Luke?
Doing well. Tell us about your company and what you do.
I work with Business Group Resources, and for the last 16 years, we have been finding tax refunds and tax credits for small and medium-sized businesses. We usually find about $1 million a week in overpaid taxes that we can return to businesses.
What was that number again?
$1 million a week.
$1 million a week. I'll let the panelists do the math on that. That's fantastic, Robert. Thanks for being here with us. My man, Vince Tinto, how are you, sir?
Good, sir. How are you, Luke? Thanks for the opportunity. My company is National Auditing Services and Consulting. We are the only A+ industry rated company in our industry. We do refund recovery. We are utility refund experts. We do water, gas, electricity, sewage, telecom, also real estate tax. And I've been doing this for 21 years. My partner and I have a combined close to 50 years in the business, and we've recovered millions over the years in refunds for clients. Yes, we're well into the millions.
I like millions. I like millions. Vince, thanks so much for being here. And
thank you.
Seth Rubin, how are you, my friend?
Luke, how are you, buddy?
Doing great.
So happy to be a part of this. My name is Seth Rubin. I'm the Executive Vice President of ProfiTrust. And what we do is we help companies to identify and eliminate vendor overspend. So we really kind of live in the indirect operational expense categories. So things that companies are spending money on day in and day out, outside of people and product, are usually areas that we can review and show them where they're paying their vendors more than they should.
All right. So you and Vince work very well together then, correct?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Give me an example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Vince and I are actually working on a project right now for an electronics distribution company where we're looking at their utility audits for all their warehouses. And I think as of yesterday, Vince, let me know if I'm wrong, I think we're up to over $100,000 in savings.
We are to the 6 figures.
So,
yes,
and that's the great part about, where Vince kind of comes in and looking at savings moving, refunds. I could also look at savings moving forward as well.
That's fantastic. Now, Robert, Vince, and Seth, it's correct that the only way that you guys get paid is if you save your clients money, correct?
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Contingency based.
Yep, it's contingency based.
So you're just going to go in there and either save them a bunch of money or say, hey, you're running a great company and you're good to go.
Yep.
Seth, why do you love saving people money?
It's a great question. I think why I love working and doing what I do is the fact that I am helping companies positively affect the bottom line of their business. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So, for us to come in and show $500,000 in savings here, or, even if it's a couple of $100, it's their money that they're really kind of throwing away when they don't need to. So, every day is a different conversation and, a different client. And, you could look at two companies in the same industry, and one you could find $500,000 and the other one you don't find anything. So it's a lot of fun to do what we do, at least for me.
Vince, same question to you, my friend.
Oh, I love what I do. As Seth mentioned, the bottom line is what counts for everybody. I don't care who you are. We will take a look at your invoices, one letter of authorization. We tell you to sit back, relax. Maybe in a few months you'll get a few $100,000 that you never saw coming. It's a very unique way to go about it. We do all the work, very little input is required by the client. And we have a lot of fun with it. I mean, a lot of situations are win-win. We throw an extra win in there. It's win-win-win. Never out of pocket money. And we either tell you, yeah, you're doing great, or we're telling you you're going to get a lot of money that you never expected.
I think either one of those answers is a great answer. You're doing a great job running your company, or here's a boatload of money. I love it.
Yep, win-win-win.
Mr. Curtis, can you give us a 30,000-foot overview of the R&D?
Sure. It began in 1981 as a temporary program with the IRS, and the idea was to help U.S. companies keep jobs on American shores. Well, it was meant to be temporary, but it was made permanent in 2015. So now it's a permanent part of the tax code. And my biggest competition is the name R&D, Research and Development Tax Credit. People hear it and they're like, I didn't invent anything. I never filed for a patent. It's got nothing to do with me. But it really should be called the Business Innovation Tax Credit at this point. It is for companies that innovate or try to improve a product, improve a process, and it doesn't have to be industry-wide. It can just be an improvement within their own company. So I can work with construction companies, engineering, dental and medical practices, IT companies, any company where there's a planning or creative aspect to solving a specific problem for an individual client. So it's pretty broad. I even recently worked with a company, a woman who designed pet clothes and manufactured them.
So I don't have to be in a lab with a white coat.
You don't have to be in a lab with a white coat. And the big proviso is it began life as a jobs program. So usually I work with companies that are like about $1 million to $25 million a year in revenue and 5 employees and up. So, and the question you didn't ask me is, why do I like what I do? Because I just love to see the smile on a client's face when they get a refund check from the IRS plus interest. It helps strengthen their business. Maybe they can employ one more person and grow the business. Yeah, maybe they end up taking a vacation. But it's great to see, somebody happy. It's getting something back.
I didn't want to give you easy questions. I wanted to give you.
That's all right.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, Jeff. Go ahead.
What does proviso mean? I need to know.
One provision or, one requirement.
Oh, so a single, I gotcha. I didn't know that.
I mean, basically, you have to have paid taxes or you're not getting anything back. Second, you have to have at least one employee. It works better 5 and up.
Okay.
And you have to put some thought into what you do as a company.
Gotcha. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Robert, why didn't my CPA tell me about this?
You know what? That's probably the question I get asked the most. And it's usually started with, I'm going to wring my CPA's neck. Why didn't he tell me about this? It's not what CPAs do. Your CPA does your taxes, files your quarterlies, keeps you out of trouble. But what we do is really, it's a real niche part of the tax code, and we're specialists. I mean, it's the same thing that you have your general practitioner and you have your brain surgeon, right? I mean, they do different things, but they're both really necessary. So we complement CPAs. We don't compete with them. And what we do is very specialized.
Well, that's because you're very special, Robert. Thank you so much for that overview.
Yeah, I want a trophy. I want a participation trophy, Luke.
We'll get it right over to you. I'll have Seth mail it to you. So one thing that must happen is the research and the development or the creation does need to be happening in the United States, correct?
Yeah, I work with U.S. companies anywhere in the United States, from Hawaii to Maine.
Perfect. That's what we needed to know. Thank you so much for that, Robert. We're going to go back up to Jeff. Jeff, do you think it is beneficial to have a broker or third-party advisor to just make the decision autonomously?
I'm a big advocate of brokerage in the sales process. Like you said, we opened an office in Atlanta a few years ago. We went ahead and decided we wanted to buy our place, so we own an office there, and fortunately I was introduced to an SBA loan broker, which is basically someone who deals with several SBA banks to help you get a loan. I don't think it's possible I would have been able to buy that office building and be able to get a loan if the broker wasn't involved. They were able to, know the whole community, know who to go to, make the shortcuts. We did this thing within a few months. I never bought a commercial property in my life. They coached us through the process, and everywhere there's a broker involved. And I know from being on the telecom side and the cloud side, we have access to all the carriers and all the lenders in the lending space. Not that we're a lender, but just giving an example. And you just know who to go to. If even in my personal life, when I refinanced my home, I didn't walk into Chase and say, can I get a mortgage? I called a mortgage broker and they got it done at the right rate. They know who to go to. They coach you through the process. So for me, I'm a big believer in brokerage. I feel like it just shortcuts the whole process, and you're not going to pay more just because they're making their 10% or whatever it is. You're just going to get a better deal at the end of the day. That's how I personally feel.
So you're saying it's easy to spend too much when you're not getting the right advice?
I think that's without question, and it's easy to spend a lot more time and potentially not get it done.
Fantastic. Seth, anything on that?
I think the funny thing is that, everyone pretty much on this panel is in business because of that exact point. We are to Robert's, what Robert was saying earlier, we are those specialists. We are going to show you where you could do better, so, to Jeff's point, having an expert or having someone that knows what to look for and how to look for it, it is worth the commission or, fees that you pay, because, quite frankly, most of what we're doing is we're only getting paid as a percentage of what we're putting back into someone's pocket.
So with that, Seth, is it important to have good corporate hygiene, and what would good corporate hygiene look like to you?
Yeah, my partner and I talk about this all the time is, what is good corporate hygiene? And I think, for myself being a business owner, are we doing the right thing? Are we in the right product? Are we paying more than we should? Every year, hopefully you get your physical and, you go to the dentist. It's that same type of philosophy that you could put towards your business, which is, are we healthy? Are we doing the right thing? Are we spending more than we should? And working with Robert or Vince or pretty much anyone on this call, and Luke with your new business as well, we are here to help companies understand what it is they're doing. Are they doing it right? Can we help them fix it? very similar to, like I said, going to a doctor and getting a checkup. You're good to go, great. If not, we got to change some things. And that's how I feel about it.
That's fantastic. I want to go to Vince. Vince, how often should a company be reaching out to you to check to see if you can help? Is it a once a year thing? Is it a once a 6-year thing? Like, when is it time to reach out to Vince?
Okay, yeah, we go in and we do a refund audit. We go back about 6 years. We look for mistakes, errors that are in your favor, and then we get a retroactive refund for you with a signed LOA and a copy of the invoices you want us to look at. Once we've gotten that money back for you, and you've gotten that check, now more often than not, you will get a check from the companies that have overbilled you. What we do after that, once we get you that money back, any corrections we have made, we fix that problem, meaning that going forward, 100% of the savings on those corrections we've made are yours. What we like to do is for the next 2 or 3 years, come back on the year of the initial audit and ask you for new invoices. No more documentation is required. We go back in and see if some of those mistakes have snuck back in. We like to be with you for 2 or 3 years after our initial audit to see if those mistakes got back in, and sometimes they do, and boom, we get you another refund. We stay with you for a while. We track it.
Perfect. Robert, I want to ask you the same question.
Once, and I'll tell you why. Usually when we come in, the government allows you to look back 3 years. So the first time I meet a company and do business with them, we'll look back 3 years and see what we can get refunded for them on the tax credit. After that, we will work annually with the accountant to, instead of getting a refund, to help reduce the amount of taxes that are paid.
Perfect.
So, right, better to pay less than wait for a check to come back.
Robert, what industries are you seeing the most return from?
Medical and dental, because just by virtue of what they do, everything is planned for each individual patient. Certainly construction, whether it's commercial roofing, solar, HVAC. And then in the tech sector, telecommunications, IT, anything like that, where there's clearly a planning function and everybody's system and equipment is going to be different by virtue of their needs.
So if I'm a SaaS company and I'm building out my SaaS platform, I launch it, and then years down, we want to create another arm of the SaaS. In the creation process of that SaaS product, good to go.
Yeah, as long as you've got the W-2 employees working on it, you're not offshoring it with 1099s. Right?
That's what I wanted
to help strengthen the United States and American workers.
Love it. Love it. Vince, I want to go to you. What industry and even geography are you seeing the most savings right now?
Right now, I would say manufacturing. Our analytics, our data show that manufacturers are the most overbilled industry in the country. We're having tremendous success right now in Connecticut, in North Carolina, where not only do we get the refunds, but they're getting their refund checks in less than 30 days. The turnaround is great. And that, I would say, manufacturing number one, because they and the refunds are significant. And over the last 3 years, again, our analytics has shown manufacturers to be the most overbilled companies. Now, in the second, third, fourth slots, I would say right behind manufacturers, nursing homes, senior care facilities, hospitals. We're also seeing a lot of recovery in the telecom sector for universities, colleges. The smaller sized businesses, the mom and pops, the people that you meet every day, I like to call bakeries, both wholesale and retail. A lot of refunds there, as well as printers, print shops, graphic organizations as well. But it's not limited there, but those are the top tier.
That's fantastic. My mind is racing. I should be taking notes to write all of that down. That's fantastic. Seth, I want to go over to you without giving a specific industry or geographic where you're seeing the most savings.
Yeah, so I mean, we could obviously do stuff all over the world, quite frankly, because we offer so many different categories. So it's really kind of what category and where we might be able to do something. Where we're seeing tremendous amount of savings right now are in merchant fees. So companies that are accepting credit cards as payment and shipping. The amount of money that companies are overpaying FedEx and UPS, I could probably give you examples, would pretty much blow your mind. So, you know, for us, I mean, especially since, you know, March, when kind of the world came to a little bit of a halt, a lot of businesses had to rethink how they were doing things. So there's a lot more retailers that now have become e-tailers. You know, e-commerce is kind of
booming
everything now, and kind of obviously the wave of the future. And, you know, what does an e-commerce company do? They accept credit cards and they ship product out. So, you know, for us, you know, e-commerce brands, CPG has been tremendous opportunities for us. You know, and Vince brought something up, you know, before, is not only are we potentially renegotiating that contract for you, but we're actually going in month after month and actually ensuring the compliance of the rates that we have. So, you know, while Vince is doing it maybe a year to see if that, we're doing that on a monthly basis. So trust me, we're going to catch it, and, you know, we're going to get you that money back. So definitely CPG, e-commerce has been a tremendous opportunity for us.
Fantastic. Robert Curtis, tax season is coming up. Is now the time to reach out to you to see if we qualify for R&D?
Anytime is really the time, because we can do a look back at any point for 3 years. And of course, we can help file for current year with your current accountant. You know, but any time is a good time to begin to investigate it and either look back or move forward.
There you go. Jeff, I want to go up to you. I'm a new business.
Mm-hmm.
If I go straight to the telco or the internet or the cloud, am I going to get a better deal coming to RCS Professionals, or should I just go and do it myself?
I would back to the brokerage topic. Like, I feel like you're definitely going to get a better deal coming to us because we're exposed to dozens and dozens of carriers. And, you know, just by knowing everything out there, as opposed to picking up the phone and calling Verizon thinking you can get a better deal because you call them directly, it just doesn't work like that. There's also, you know, we're aware of all the promotions that are happening. The telco companies are very commoditized. They're dying for new names and new business, and a lot of them are giving out like 4 months free just to sign up. And, you know, we're going to be aware of that, and we're going to be able to get our clients on that. And that's something we do on an ongoing basis. You know, we review the stuff annually for our clients and make sure that they're getting the right stuff, basically.
Is cybersecurity the most important thing to think about when dealing with your company today?
Yes, cybersecurity, you know, like you can't talk enough about it. And it's like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, someone said, you have to have a password that's, you know, 17 characters and have like, it's like, come on, man, I just need one password, leave me alone. But now it's like, it's literally out of control, and it's affecting every one of our end users' lives, our clients' life, is stuff getting broken into, phishing scams, X, Y, and Z emails are getting literally logged into by bad actors from all over the place, and they're reading your email and sending email to people and saying, send this wire to so-and-so, and then the wire goes, and then guess what? It's too late. Can't do anything about it. You have to have the right stuff when it comes to cyber and advisory, but it's huge right now.
So you could save them a lot of money by working with you instead of getting hacked and getting locked out. Because I don't have $200,000 in Bitcoin to give somebody that just locked out. I don't know. That's I don't.
Not yet, Luke.
What is it at today? 48K? I
don't know. I had to sell all mine to start this business, but that's a different story. Robert,
Yes.
can you give us an example of a recent success story that you have?
Yeah. We just recently finished working with a dentist in the New York area who had a nice practice. It was him and another dentist. They were doing approximately $1 to $1.2 million a year. 11 employees, the dentist, administrative personnel, hygienist. We were able to find $81,000 looking back over the last 3 years. And that's tax-free money because it was taxes that already were paid in. And not only $81,000, but when the IRS cuts the check, they've got to cut it with interest from the date those taxes were paid until they made the refund. So,
That's a happy day for that client, right?
very, very happy day for that client.
That's a happy day. 81 grand. Woo!
Yeah.
Vince, let's go to you. Give us a recent success story.
Yes, we had a large cement manufacturing company that I approached, and they told them what I did, and they said, "Oh, Vince, you're too late. We just got our refund check from a competitor some few months back. Here it is. It's it was like $19,000." And I said, "Well, you know what? Not to be smug, but we're the best at what we do here. We're A+ rated. I know the company you're talking about. Let's do a piggyback audit." So I said, you know the procedure. Give us the invoices. We even do diesel. I'm like, you look at diesel, that's big in our industry. No one does that. I said, well, that's going to be the difference. I feel I was confident enough to say that. Long story short, we came back with another $129,000. Oh no, $119,000 for them, and they were ecstatic. And now we are their exclusive auditing company.
$119,000 day.
They had got 29,000, and they were happy. He had the check. I wasn't going to walk away from that because I was confident that not a lot of companies will look at diesel for cement companies, and that's how they run their trucks. That's how they turn their cement. And so I knew there was something there.
That's a good day, Vince. I am. Congrats.
It was sweet. It was nice. It was great for everyone. Win, win, win.
Win, win, win. Seth, you're up.
Yeah, I actually just pulled up one of my, because I actually want to give you the exact number for a client that this is savings delivered over the last 30 days. $163,174.97.
Nice.
So that's, and probably since this summer, we've saved them close to $500,000, and that's on one category of their business.
And that category was?
Shipping.
Shipping.
And I have another client that we saved about $40,000 last month on merchant fees.
Nice.
I want everybody to listen. Like, these numbers aren't, we're not making these numbers up. This is what these guys do. They're either going to tell you, hey, yeah, here's a small fortune, or we can't help you. That's what's so great about what these guys do. That is fantastic. Before we wrap this up, I want to get final thoughts. Give us a trend. Give us something that we need to know that we haven't discussed yet. Jeff, we're going to start with you.
Well, repeat the question, man. This is a tough one.
Give the attendees your final thoughts, something that we didn't talk about, a trend that you're seeing, something that you want everybody to know.
I mean, just to retouch on the whole cyber thing, I think like that could basically cost a ton of money, and it does happen every day. There's people paying ransomwares for their systems getting locked up everywhere, from public companies down to small little businesses, and it's crippling, and you got to prevent it. You got to do what you got to do to make sure it doesn't happen. So that's pretty much one of the hottest buttons in our industry, and I think everyone should take it seriously. Talk to your advisor and make sure that you're protecting yourselves from something like that if you're a business owner.
Beautiful. Vince, let's go to you. Final thoughts, my friend.
Yeah, in these days of where everyone is expecting PPP money, different type of funding, they're sitting, waiting. There's no waiting here with us. Engage us. Give us the invoices. Utilities are one of the biggest top three expenses for any company, and any CFO will tell you that. And it's very simple. We make it easy. Provide us with invoices, one letter of authorization. We go to work. You forget about it. And as I said, an unexpected surprise is around the corner. A nice refund check. Everyone should use Seth, should use Rob, should use myself, and just, not wait for PPPs and all these gifts. You can create your own gift, work with us, and we'll provide it to you in a nice package.
I love that. I love that. Seth, final thoughts, my friend.
Yeah, I think Vince kind of hit on it. I mean, for a company not to engage ProfiTrust or Vince's company or Robert, I mean, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, why not? And, to Jeff's point earlier, why not use the experts that specialize in this day in and day out? Let us see what we can do for you. It's your money. We want to help your business. That's why we're on this call is, yes, save me money, but we love helping businesses. So, to not engage people like us and utilize us, our advice is pretty much free. So, why not take it?
I love it. Robert, take us home, my friend.
A couple of years back, the Wall Street Journal did a study about the tax credit, and they found that 95% of the businesses with 50 or fewer employees who could take advantage of the tax credit either didn't know about it or they weren't filing for it. So this is money that the government has set aside to help support American small and mid-sized businesses and to keep jobs here. And people should take advantage of it. It's an easy process. The worst part of the entire process is they've got to have a 20-minute conversation with me. But other than that, it's smooth sailing.
That's not so bad.
That takes us right back to the name. Your money matters. These guys are getting your money. And fellas, this was fantastic. Extreme. I even learned things, and I know all of you. To everybody listening, if you want to get a hold of these guys, coming up right after this, you'll see all of their contact information. We want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time this morning. Thank all of you, Jeff, Seth, Vince, Robert. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you, Luke. Yes.
Luke, I think we need a little shameless plug for you, by the way, my friend.
Yeah.
Tell us what you do.
What do you got going on, buddy?
We'll do it real quick. My name is Luke Van Every. I'm the founder of True Compare PEO, your trusted PEO specialist. There are over 700 PEOs in the United States. How do you find the one that fits your company best? You reach out to us, and we will work directly with you to find what your needs are and place you with the professional employer organization that is going to help you succeed the most. Our cost is absolutely nothing. You are our priority to make sure that the PEO not only brings you the best offer, but moving forward takes the best care of you, because we're here to service you. Take a look at our website, truecomparepeo.com. If you're new to PEO, reach out, or if you're on a PEO and you want to look at all of your options, we're here to do it for you. Thank you, gentlemen, for that. And I hope everyone has an amazing day.
Before we sign off, I just wanted to see if we have any questions from the audience. Some people are asking some great questions, so sorry to pop in there.
Questions in here, sure. Esther, if you wanna, can you unmute them and let them ask?
Yeah. Hold on one sec. Scott Last, you're up first. Thanks for joining us. Hold on one moment while I unmute you here. All right, tell us what you got.
Here's what I've got. I have referred everyone on this call Jeff, I've referred your company via Esther, although at some point I definitely would love to talk with you and have a dual approach. But when Robert before was talking about that dentist, I smiled because I believe he was talking about someone I sent him.
Yes.
And the bottom line is the dentist, the owner of the practice, called me and goes, "He found me $81,000. I'm like, yeah. But what? Net of what he's going to take for his fee for finding you that money, you have like $60,000 or $65,000 you didn't even know you had." And I said to the guy, by all rights, you should send it to me because I got it for you. Okay? Seth didn't even get halfway through the door and found the guy's $6,000. Vince has already found him money. And, Vince, I'm about to connect you as well. But last night I connected Robert and Seth and today Luke and Esther to a key client of mine who you guys can be an invaluable resource to him because he's a contract chief financial officer. He's got his own, consultancy, and the guy is really like world class. And if Seth can tell him that the company he's now advising can save $400,000 in shipping, and Jeff says, no, listen, you got some gaps in your cyber, and Luke outsources all the HR and benefit stuff, and Robert says, oh, by the way, you didn't realize, but you've got about $300,000, whatever. And then Vince, I mean, this particular guy that I'm connecting you to, Vince, he battled with PSE&G for 6 years to get a refund. So everyone on this call, and these gentlemen will tell you, I give them the business. It is, a resource for my clients. And I am ecstatic when they call me up and go, I made money. Good. Because if they made money, my clients made money. So you really all need to look at them.
I think we have a new MC, Luke.
Yeah, when's your radio show happening? Scott, just tell all the listeners real quick what you do, because you're such an invaluable resource as well with your company.
Yes,
I run a financial advisory practice. It's look, everyone's got a financial advisor. Everyone knows the market's running away, although I really think everyone needs to sit back and take a look at what happened with GameStop and realize what it could mean longer term. But the bottom line is we do three things. We do design portfolios that will lose less during market sell-offs, and we've had decades of success with it. It's not rocket science. It's doable. We make our clients save cash every pay period because without cash, your life is a stressed out and maniac situation. And you never have the cash for opportunity like you had last year or in 2009 or right after the dot-com crash. And the third thing we do is there's a huge problem in this country with people not having pensions. And I can tell you from decades in the business that people who do not know with certainty what their income is going to be in retirement, they retire in 2006 and then 2008 comes along and gobbles up half their assets. They're in panic mode. And as I was talking to a client earlier this morning, basically he said, yeah, when he retires, he wants to be a golf bum.
I could join.
And I'm going to help him get there. That's the point. So, but we give everything away, so there's no pitch, there's no sell, and I never ask for the business.
Thanks, Scott. Amazing. Anybody else have any questions?
Scott unmuted? I didn't hear him.
Anyone else have questions? Feel free to chat them or raise your hand. We'll give you one more minute to see if we have any last minute questions right now before we let these experts go. Hannah, looks like you have a question. I'm going to unmute you just in case. Oh, looks like you're muted on your end, so feel free to unmute yourself if you want to ask something. Anybody else have questions? Luke, I did have one question. Somebody was asking what a PEO does. Can you quickly explain?
No. I can't quickly explain. Professional employer organization helps in a lot of different ways, from payroll, employee benefits, workers' comp risk management, all the way down to HR support. But it works on what we call a co-employment model. And it can be a tremendous savings for you. And if you're interested in learning more, because it takes me more than 2 minutes to explain it, I would love the opportunity to speak with you one-on-one and tell you about what I do and the 11 top professional employer organization companies in the United States that I have direct partnerships with.
That wasn't
Luke's
quick enough.
a good guy. Luke's a good guy. Talk to Luke.
Next up, we got PJ. PJ's got a question. PJ, I'm just unmuted you. Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Great. Hey, this is for Vince Tinto. Vince, you mentioned North Carolina with pretty quick turnarounds, and I think you're interested in that area.
Yep.
What are turnaround times in general, though? And maybe you can you tell us how different they are in overall from what you're seeing in North Carolina?
Yeah.
I'm just curious about that.
Overall, once we look at invoices, we would know within 2 weeks whether there is a refund or there isn't a refund. Then we go after it. And it could take anywhere from 30 days to 4 months. The longer it takes, that's good news. It means we're finding things. And when we're finding things, most people can wait for a great deal of money. They know a great deal of money is coming.
Got it. How about Seth? How about you? What kind of turnaround time are you looking at for like a start to finish process?
Yeah, great question, and it really kind of depends on the category. We could look at a merchant bill and tell you what we could save you based on that bill within 24 hours. The implementation time, could take a few weeks, and then usually starts at the first of the month. Shipping, we could potentially have, I could onboard a client onto my shipping platform today and have potential refund for them on Monday. So, there's a lot of ways that we could help. And, Vince brought up, was talking about refunds. A lot of people don't even know about unclaimed property, which is, New York State alone has $16 billion of people and companies' money. We know how to find that money. We found a law firm $2 million, and it's very similar. All I need is the company name and their DBA, which is doing business as, and we could do that research and understand what's out there for them, and we'll go get that money for them. So, it's knowing what rock to look under, and how to go out and get that money for them.
Thank you.
Yep.
When you find a client $2 million, are they more upset that they lost $2 million and didn't know it was there, or they're more happy that you found them $2 million?
Depends on who you're talking to.
That's where the personality starts.
Right.
Not our last webinar, Jeff. All right, it looks like we are going to wrap it up here. If anyone has further questions, we're going to send out everybody's contact information in the follow-up email. So look out for that. We look forward to speaking with you all and saving you a lot of money. And thanks so much, Luke, as always, for a job well done. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And we'll see you all next time.
Thank you.